Part 6. Author's note. Hope you guys are happy. At 1 a.m. this idea started haunting me. This is along with the same plotline as Chapter 1 and 2, but it's not placed after them. This title will give you a clue. XD. I don't think there are fanfic conventions, but whatever. I think I have most of the signs of a fangirl. I own t-shirts, bought the charm bracelet with the signature, constantly argue about fanfiction, scream when I see cars the character zone, and have a convo with my friend about how Bella is a burger. Don't ask, I'll post it later. And I made a cameo in this chapter. Guess who I am? The Rabid Fangirls. Edward POV. Eddie, I'm bored, Ella whined, sitting in my car. We had been making out only moments earlier. Well, let's go somewhere, I replied, pissed at her use of the name Eddie, which she had taken to use since reading various fanfiction where I'm apparently called that. Let's call Alice. I was shocked. Bella knew never, ever call Alice when you're bored. It only resulted in makeovers, in pain. Before I could stop her, she dialed the house. I could hear both sides of the conversation. Hey, Alice, what do you see us doing today? I see you in a large room with many people, with shirts with Edward's name on them. Alice was confused. Of course, she had no idea that a book read by millions was about us. Okay then. Bella hung up the phone, satisfied. What? We're going where all the lovers of Edward go. I gave her a confused look. To a fanfic convention. I gave her a horrified look. But first we need disguises. I gave her a scared look. She advanced toward me with a rubber nose. Scene change. Whoop. We parked the car near the huge lecture hall. As we stepped out of the car, some girls gasped. "A Volvo!" they screamed. "Just like Edward!" I rolled my eyes. Twilight fans. Typical. So as I was saying, that's why Bella would gain the power of mind control. As we walked into the room, a couple dozen female heads looked up. I was nervous. Would anyone see through our disguise? I quickly scanned their minds. Thank God, no one recognized us. We took a seat near the back and listened to the growing argument. "Edward and Bella are forever!" one girl was screaming. "Jacob is the right choice," the other yelled back. I growled softly as Bella rubbed my back. "Edward! Jacob! Edward! Jacob! Edward! Jacob! Bananas!" Everyone turned to stare at a short girl who was jumping up and down. She slowly blushed until she realized everyone was staring at her. There was a moment of awkward silence until she yelled, "Edward!" Half of the room cheered. As we watched, people got up and joined sides. The Edward side seemed to be much bigger, I noted with pleasure. But as soon as people got braver, the Jacob pile grew. Soon the two sides were equal. Both groups turned to us. We were the tiebreaker. I looked up at Bella with wide eyes. Without hesitation, she pulled me to the Edward side, and I sighed with relief. A woman who looked to be the master of ceremonies stood up. "Okay, now that business is decided, we need to decide. Should we stick with canon pairings?" And the arguing continued. Scene change. Wooed. "I told you Bella would never become a guard for the Volturi." I shook my fist in the girl's face. She could. Her eyes were hard and steely. We had a stare-off for what seemed like forever before Bella pulled me away. "Listen, these fangirls are all bitches," she stated bluntly. I was shocked, but had to agree with her. "So let's make an announcement and blow this place." She whispered in my ear quickly. My face paled. "We are never, ever, ever doing that." I was outraged. "Fine then, Mr. Smartypants, I'm not marrying you." My face paled further. "You wouldn't," I whispered. Some of the fangirls had started eavesdropping on our conversation. "I would," she confirmed, and I hung my head in submission. She grinned and led me towards the front of the podium. Ahem! Bella tapped on the microphone with one finger. Everyone cringed at the feedback. "Now that I've got your attention, I have an announcement to make." Everyone stood, waiting for her announcement. I'm Bella, she said loudly, and everyone looked at her like she was crazy. No, seriously, I'm Bella, she said again, and everyone continued to stare at her. Someone's voice broke the silence. Yeah, and I'm Arrow. The majority of the crowd shifted in their seats and stifled their laughter. Bella was angry now. She looked up at me for backup and pulled me on stage. This right here is Edward, she proclaimed. Sweetie, Twilight isn't real, an older woman clucked, attempting to lead Bella away from the microphone. It is, she cried, and pulled off their disguises. OMFC! Everyone gasped. A few fangirls started moving towards the podium. Bella was basking in the attention. Bella, we've got to go, I said quietly, pulling at her wrist. She ignored me. Bella, we've got to go, I repeated in a louder voice. She looked up and noticed everyone in a zombie-like state, straggling towards us. She was horrified. Get on my back, I whispered. She climbed on, and I zoomed towards the car. I sped out of the parking lot, and it was then that I noticed dozens of cars following us. Scene change, whoop, Alice POV. I heard the door slam open, and Edward and Bella rushed in. Jasper and I jumped off the couch. They're coming, Bella wheezed, out of breath. Who's coming? Jasper asked, scared as well. Their emotions must be rubbing off. There's no time, Edward yelled, running upstairs to pack. Who's coming? Jasper repeated. We have to get moving. Bella was running around the living room in a panic. Who's coming? Jasper roared. The, she sputtered. The who? I asked eagerly. She sunk to the floor. The fangirl.